All right, Sorare Edge, Patreon free members, I have some content for you. I'm going to try to do some of these missions throughout the season. Just going to go through and build mine, give you a little advice on who you should take here. We give this information to our subscribers every morning in our main MLB sheet. If you want to join us over there, basic membership is $5 a month and gets you access to all my projections and all the mission information in a neat, tidy place. $10 a month membership gets you all that and a personalized gallery organizer optimizer file. Let's get into it. All right, so here's your missions tab. And this becomes a great way to build your essence here. Get some P, extra clues for crafting, all this stuff that you need, market credits. We're going to run through these, and I'll show you my sheet, what you get each morning if you are a subscriber. And I will do these randomly for free members as well, so hang out in the Patreon. If you're just here for the free content, we will have some of that throughout the season. Just kind of when I have time, basically. Win picker. You want a starting pitcher that's going to get a win today. So let's look at the main sheet. So we look over here. I have this sorted by win chance. They actually really like Jose Suarez going against the A's at home. Now, Suarez is like the Braves' fifth starter. You wouldn't really use him here unless you had a previous season card. I don't think he has any. And the reason for that is because we're going to use him later. He does have an in-season card, but it's an RP, and that's going to be a very valuable one for you. I'll show you that later. So I'm going to skip down to Kodai Senga. I have a Senga. If you have an Ohtani, you can throw in there. He's got Cleveland at home. I'd say he has looked great all spring. Great win chance for him today with the Dodgers, obviously. Max Fried in Seattle would be third and on down. So I don't have a Fried. I don't have a Woodruff. I don't have a Scherzer. I don't have a Hunter Brown. I do have Logan Webb. So I think I'm going to go Senga, Logan Webb. Win picker is a classic. So I know Senga was up there. I know I have one. There he is. We'll grab him. I know I have a Logan Webb. And so a lot of this is about just knowing your gallery, who you have, who you don't. I do have Casey Mize. I don't love that, but the reason I like projection sheets is because they take some of my personal bias out of the equation. So I'm going to take Casey Mize here over the likes of McClanahan and DeGrom. We're a little further down the list. All right, so there's my three for the win picker. This one you get XP for. You get 100 for each guy you get right. Workhorse. So this is basically starting pitchers going deep into games. So 18 outs is 6 innings, 21 is 7, 24 outs is 8 innings. This early in the season, I think it's going to be pretty rare to see starters go this deep into games. But actually in the season openers for most teams, we had a couple guys that went 8, which is very surprising. This is in season. So this really narrows it down for me. I really don't have much pitching. Dollander pitched yesterday. There's no way he's going today. And I actually don't have any other starting pitchers. So we'll throw him in there, but he's definitely not going 6 innings. He went quite a few yesterday. So for me, that's it. Now we move to the really interesting one. So this RP mission they've been running is 3 outs, 6 outs, 9 outs. This is like rewarding long relievers, which is interesting. Maybe that's by design. Maybe they're trying to give some value to those middle relievers that didn't have any before. So in this case, if you have a starter like Jose Suarez with a relief pitcher card, and he can go 3 innings, you get 500 essence. That's half a craft. So my advice is to pick up these starters that have the RP eligibility and just use them in missions. You're just farming essence at this point. He's the only one of those guys today. There have been a couple in previous days that we've capitalized on. We got over 1,000 essence a couple days ago. We got $17 in credits yesterday from this particular mission. I'm actually using the opener for Washington, who is another RP. He's a traditional RP, not going to be starting very often, but since he's at least guaranteed to pitch today, I'm going to throw him in there. And then normally there are guys that are going to be bulk relievers. Brad Lord is a perfect one. He went 3 innings yesterday. He would have qualified for the 500 essence. So if you don't have a starter to throw in there, some of these long men become valuable here in this mission. So Brad Lord's one that I had my eye on right away. He was very good yesterday. And then my third is, I took DL Hall for the Brewers. So Brandon Woodruff is starting today. DL Hall would probably be the guy that comes in bulk relief. And I have a website I can show you here if you want to check that out. It's called Fangraphs. And Fangraphs has a closer depth chart. And so what the closer depth chart will tell you for this particular mission is how many pitches each guy threw, what their role is. So basically, you can see the Orioles had 3 relievers that threw a decent amount of pitches yesterday. Their long man didn't go. Oviedo actually came in relief through 72 pitches yesterday. So he would be an interesting option here if he's not going to start. This Yendrys Gomez guy for Tampa. Tampa's bullpen's been pretty taxed lately. He hasn't thrown the last 4 days. He could be a guy you'd target here. Don't know if he has any cards. But again, these are all things you just keep an eye on. What I found with the Brewers was DL Hall hasn't pitched the last 2 games. This is another former starter. Brandon Woodruff is coming off injuries from spring training, and I'm thinking they may limit him a little bit. So this is just a strategy play here for DL Hall. I think he could be the guy that comes in for more of a multi-inning relief appearance today. So it's just a speculative play, but if we can get a couple innings out of him, that's just more essence. And there's certainly a chance he could go 3 if he's sharp. So that's my 3 on the closers, or on the RP right now. Slugger in season. So for these, I will sort it by the most valuable part of the challenge. So for this one, a single is worth 1 clue, an RBI is worth 3, and a home run is worth 5. So I'm looking for home runs. If we go back to the sheet, here I got your information on who to take. Jose Suarez, everybody else is ranked. Here is the home runs. So Schwarber, Judge, Ohtani. Now these are in seasons as well, so obviously you don't have a lot of these guys. If you went and spent up on the big players to start the season, you're in the driver's seat on these. Ohtani, Carpenter, Seager. So I just have to keep going down this list until I find somebody I actually own, and it's going to be a while, unfortunately. Rooker's the first guy I own, so he's going to go in this one. Missed it. There they are. All right, so we got Rooker. And as you start to do this, you'll learn your gallery. You'll know who you have and who you don't. And you can easily just run through this list until you find your players. I have a Ramos. Get him in there. They're in San Diego. There we go. And Yandy. It's going to be my 3rd one, I think. And we may actually take Yandy out of here because he is a very good singles hitter, and we're going to be doing that next. So let's move to the singles. Well, these best 5 clues are so valuable, though. It'd be great to hit a couple of these 5s. I have a lot of division clues. I have a lot of position clues, but I do not have, I think I have 1 best 5. So very valuable for crafting. So let's do the slap hitter next. Let's go down and look. We're just going to go all the way down to the end of this list. And the next one is slap hitter. It's in season again. Chase Meadroth at the top. He's pretty cheap. So if you wanted to pick him up, you could. Arise, Bichette, Brady House, probably going to be pretty cheap. I have Dalen Lyle. I'm going to throw him in. He is first on my list. Again, good hitting day in Philadelphia and in Baltimore, I've heard. The wind blowing out both places. I have an Austin Hayes. Grab him. There we go. And good old Nick Castellanos is going to be my 3rd here for the singles competition. We did not need Yandy there. Surprised a little bit. I thought he'd be higher in this list. If you want to search, you can just Control F or Command F. Type in the name, see where he falls. He's a little lower on the list here than Castellanos, so we're going to take Castellanos. Yeah, you can see these are sorted by singles right down the column. All right, let's move on to Thief. This is the biggest reward is for stolen base. It's $8, so we're going to try to win that. This one's a classic, so you can use either. We can go a little higher on the list using classics. So I have a Carroll, I have a PCA, and I have a J-Ram, so we're going to go with them. Carroll, PCA, and J-Ram. He is out in L.A., There we go. All right. And then that last one was a closer. And so for this one, you're just trying to get strikeouts from a relief pitcher. And again, this is a classic. So if you have somebody who is a starter with that relief pitcher eligibility, you can use them here. A good example of this today is Andre Palante. And he was one of the only ones I could find available on the market. I think he was about $2.50 for his classic card. You can throw him in there. The chances he gets 3 Ks are very high as a starter. So he's in there. I ended up with Jojo Romero, who is one of their relievers. He hasn't pitched in 2 days, so I'd expect him to probably get an opportunity today. You can just look at these little, you got the gray, it means they didn't go. If they got anything red or yellow or green, it means they did pitch. So you can look back at his game logs this way too. He didn't pitch the last 2 days, pitched the first 2. So I would expect him to be in the rotation today. You know, obviously games can get out of hand. Sometimes they don't appear. But good chance Jojo Romero gets a shot today. Same with Abner Uribe for the Brewers. If we look at his game logs here, he's only pitched once all season, so I think they want to get him into the game. So that's who we ended up with there. If you got a Palante, you can go ahead and throw him in. If you have multiple Suarez, I suppose you could throw one in here too. But this one not as important as the Essence. But you do get some XP here, so XP is definitely valuable. You get into these competitions that are really close. Those extra couple percent do make a big difference. All right, so that's today's missions. Wish you the best of luck, and we will have these for you intermittently throughout the season. But again, if you want to join us over at Sorare Edge, we have a great Discord. A lot of great tools over there to use for crafting, for mission analysis, for building lineups, and just for communicating with the masses. Got some really top-notch Sorare players in our Discord. You can always pick their brain on anything. And then the premium is all of that, including your optimizer organizer file. All right, thanks again for watching. We'll talk to you soon.